The Great Depression: how a global financial collapse still shapes today's economy. The Great Depression remains one of the most catastrophic economic events in modern history. Between 1929 and the early 1940s, it brought the global economy to its knees, leaving an indelible mark on governments, businesses, and individuals worldwide. But what exactly caused this economic catastrophe, and how does its legacy continue to influence the financial systems we depend on today? Let's dive into the story of the Great Depression, its lessons, and its eerie parallels to modern economic challenges. It all began on October 29, 1929, a day famously known as Black Tuesday. The New York Stock Exchange experienced a massive collapse as frantic investors scrambled to sell their shares. In the months leading up to the crash, the stock market had been a speculative frenzy, with prices rising far beyond the actual value of the companies they represented. Sound familiar? At its core, the 1929 crash was fueled by overconfidence, easy credit, and a lack of regulation. Many investors, including average citizens, had borrowed heavily to buy stocks. When prices began to fall, panic ensued and the bubble burst. By 1932, the Dow Jones Industrial Average had lost nearly 90% of its value, wiping out fortunes overnight. Today, we see echoes of this speculative behavior in modern markets, from the dot-com bubble of the late 1990s to the cryptocurrency mania of recent years. While regulations have since been implemented to prevent unchecked speculation, the underlying human tendency to chase easy money hasn't changed. The stock market crash was just the beginning. In the years that followed, the US economy spiraled into a depression. Banks failed, businesses closed, and unemployment skyrocketed to a staggering 25%. What made the Great Depression truly global, however, was the interconnected nature of economies at the time, a phenomenon even more pronounced today. Countries reliant on exporting goods to the US found themselves in crisis as American demand dried up. Protectionist policies like the infamous Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930 only worsened the situation by triggering trade wars. Global trade plummeted, deepening the economic downturn. Fast forward to 2008, and we see a similar domino effect during the global financial crisis. The collapse of Lehman Brothers in the US sent shockwaves through financial institutions worldwide. This interconnectedness underscores how no economy operates in isolation, a lesson we should heed as globalization intensifies. Beyond the numbers, the Great Depression was a human tragedy. Families lost their homes, and bread lines became a common sight in cities across the world. Rural areas were hit particularly hard as falling crop prices and drought led to the Dust Bowl in the United States, forcing many farmers to abandon their land. Governments struggled to respond. In the US, President Herbert Hoover's initial approach of hands-off economics proved disastrous. It wasn't until Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal, a series of public works projects, financial reforms, and social welfare programs, that some semblance of stability began to return. This aspect of the Depression offers a crucial lesson. During times of crisis, government intervention can be the difference between recovery and prolonged suffering. Today, programs like unemployment benefits, stimulus checks, and central bank interventions owe their existence to the policies born out of the Great Depression. The Great Depression taught us hard lessons about economic vulnerabilities and the importance of safeguards. Here are a few key takeaways that remain relevant today. 1. The importance of regulation. The lack of oversight in the 1920s allowed reckless speculation to flourish. In response, the US introduced reforms like the Securities Act of 1933 and the creation of the Securities and Exchange Commission. While these measures have helped, recent crises like the 2008 financial meltdown show that continuous vigilance is necessary. 2. The role of central banks. During the Depression, the Federal Reserve failed to act decisively to stabilize the banking system. This inaction exacerbated the crisis. Today, central banks worldwide, including the Fed, play a critical role in managing economic stability through interest rate adjustments and quantitative easing. 3. The danger of protectionism. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act demonstrated how trade barriers can backfire, worsening global economic conditions. In an era of global supply chains, protectionist policies could have even more severe consequences. 4. The value of social safety nets. Programs like Social Security, unemployment insurance, and food assistance were introduced in the aftermath of the Depression. These initiatives have since become essential tools for cushioning the impact of economic downturns on vulnerable populations. While the Great Depression happened nearly a century ago, its lessons are far from obsolete. Consider the economic challenges we face today. Rising debt levels. Much like the excessive borrowing that preceded the 1929 crash, modern economies are grappling with mounting debt, from student loans to national deficits. Could this lead to another financial reckoning? Market speculation. From meme stocks to cryptocurrencies, speculative bubbles continue to form. Are we heading toward another burst? Economic inequality. The Depression widened the gap between the rich and the poor. Today, wealth inequality is once again a pressing issue, sparking debates about taxation, universal basic income, and wealth redistribution. Climate-driven crises. The Dust Bowl of the 1930s was a stark reminder of how environmental factors can exacerbate economic hardships. With climate change intensifying, are we prepared for its economic fallout? The Great Depression wasn't just a financial crisis. It was a wake-up call for how fragile and interconnected our economic systems truly are. While reforms born out of that era continue to shape the world we live in, new challenges demand fresh solutions. One major area to watch is technology. Unlike in the 1930s, today's economic crises are often driven by rapid technological shifts. For instance, automation and artificial intelligence are reshaping labor markets, creating both opportunities and uncertainties. Could these advancements bring about a new kind of economic inequality, or help solve it? Additionally, the role of global cooperation has grown. International organizations like the IMF and World Bank, which didn't exist during the Depression, now play critical roles in stabilizing economies. However, geopolitical tensions often complicate their efforts. Will nations rise above their differences to tackle global economic challenges, or will protectionism and nationalism reignite old patterns? The Great Depression serves as a timeless reminder that economic stability is never guaranteed. It teaches us the value of vigilance, innovation, and cooperation in addressing financial crises. But perhaps its most enduring lesson is this: human resilience and ingenuity can turn even the darkest periods into opportunities for growth. So, what lessons can we apply today to ensure history doesn't repeat itself? Are we prepared to face the next economic storm? Or are we, like the speculators of 1929, ignoring the warning signs? Let us know your thoughts. What do you think is the most critical lesson from the Great Depression that applies to today's economy? Share your ideas in the comments below. If you enjoyed this dive into history's economic lessons, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Echoes of Wealth and Power, for more engaging content on the historical events that shaped our world.